There aren't many titles in sports that have the same ring as heavyweight champion of the world. George Foreman became the champ in 1973 when he beat Joe Frazier in Jamaica. And then, in perhaps the most improbable comeback in sports history, George Foreman won the title again more than 21 years later. He has now written his autobiography, By George, and I am pleased to have him back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you back here. Let me just talk about the last fight. Let's get over it. Now, what happened?
You know, it's strange. So many people underestimated Axel Schultz.
Including you?
You better believe it, including me. They said I was going to get a quick knockout, 1 or 2 rounds. So I went out, first round, tried to knock him out, second round. He was avoiding me. He was running. Then by the 8th round, I was running from him.
Saying, I want this over soon.
How do I get out of this mess? But it turned out to be a close fight, which is the way all fights should be. Evenly matched, a lot more than people thought it would.
Now, you expected him to come at you, and so you could just...
True, and knock him out like
with the
Michael
jab.
Moore, but he was evasive. He tried to run, and he had a strategy, and he used it. And I think he was applauded and given a lot more points by the audience than he deserved, mainly because he survived some tough punishment early on from me. And he started to hit me back. It was like, he's hitting George back. Give him the fight.
Now, you said he fought like a billy goat. It was like fighting a billy goat when you fought him.
Yeah, it was hard to catch him. You know, the point is, he was going to run and try to make me use my energy. Finally, I used my energy. And like a billy goat, I mean, he started bucking back at the end. I mean, he started using his head a little bit, bumping me and things of that nature. But I'm just happy. I never went out to get a decision in a boxing match. I look for a knockout. And once a fight is over, I don't get a knockout. I never look for the decision. Judges usually go against me. I was shocked that they gave me the decision,
so
although I deserve it. I know. I figured I deserve it because without me, there wouldn't have been a fight. I mean, he wasn't going to come running after George Foreman.
So he had to really knock you out or beat you badly to win.
Yeah. He beat me badly. He didn't knock me out, though.
I want to talk about the future and come back to the book, because there's some interesting things I didn't know about you in this book. Where do you stand on the Tyson possibility?
Ian, I thought Tyson would get out of jail, really, come to me and say, okay, George, I want to fight for the title. Let's sign up. You take $50 million, I'll take $50 million. We go on and do the biggest boxing promotion of all times. But he embraced Don King again, got all tangled up in that stuff. And I knew then there wouldn't be any chance of Tyson ever fighting George Foreman.
Because you won't fight him as long as King is involved, or because King won't allow him to fight you as long as it's you?
Yeah, Don King would never allow Tyson to fight me, and unless he had a contract with me. And there's no way I would sign contracts with people like that.
Like Don King?
No, I love Don King, really. I love him just like some of my children. And I got children I just wouldn't do business with. He's like one of my kids. I love the guy. If I say I didn't love Don King, I'd be lying.
You do love him?
I do love him. He's like I said, one of my kids that I just wouldn't do business with.
Why wouldn't you do business with him?
Every time I've done business with Don King in the past, things have gone wrong.
And I just don't away more than...
Well, I hate to say it was the money part of it, but it just wasn't a successful promotion as far as I was concerned.
Do you think Mike Tyson made a mistake in signing up again with him?
A grave mistake. Mike Tyson should have done something independently. But I thought he had matured. He was away from Don King, being supervised and dependent upon himself. I thought he was independent, but it seems that Don King is really beneficial if you want a soft ride. If you think, I want to be protected for a while, then you need a Don King.
What do you think? Do you hear in the boxing circles about Tyson, where he is in his head, how much he's changed, how strong is he? Is he ready to come back? Will he inevitably be heavyweight champion?
Well, you hope for Tyson that he can be the standard bearer. There are going to be a lot of kids getting out of prison in the following years who are looking for someone, needing someone to look up to. If Tyson can get his life together, I can get my life together. I was hoping that Tyson would make another turn in his life. He hasn't made much. It's not going to be easy to be heavyweight champ of the world. He's not tall like I am. He doesn't have this big left jab. He needs a lot of energy, and it takes years to really get that style back together. And he wouldn't be able to get it together. That's why he wouldn't fight me now. He just wouldn't be ready for a big jabber like me.
In other words, he does not want to risk one big punch from George that might take him down.
And I would certainly take him down. But it's so wonderful that a guy 50 years old and the toughest guy on the planet is thinking, hey, I can't risk it right now. It says a lot for middle-aged people now.
But let me hear you out on Tyson. Are you saying that you don't think he will be the heavyweight champion because...
Yeah, I don't think that Tyson can really recapture what he had. he was managed and trained by some great people, Custody Amato, and he had a good trainer who knew the style that Tyson needed to be heavyweight champ of the world. The people he's dealing with now, they don't know that style. He'll never be a big power puncher. He was so small and quick, and he could deliver shocking power, split quick. He didn't deliver straight punches, just hooks. And he was a phenomenon. And when you're a phenomenon like that, there's no way to really reconstruct it. It just happened.
What's next for you?
Well, I'm heavyweight champ of the world. I've reached that goal. And the last time I got into the ring, you know, for the first time I was wondering, what am I doing in here? And I thought, oh, for the money. You just can't have that as your sole purpose for boxing, money.
Yeah.
So this will be my last year to box. No doubt about it. I will not box beyond 95. If Tyson or anyone else want to box me, they better get to me before December.
Now, I hear what you're saying as a message to Mike Tyson. You're trying to send these messages, Mike, you better come to me. Mike, you can't win. You want to either taunt him into fighting you, or else you want to just let it be known that after a year, the option of this big payday with George is gone.
It's going to disappear. The greatest thing that could ever happen is the youngest guy to become heavyweight champ of the world and the oldest guy who is champ. We meet together, the whole world would be interested. It could have been a bonanza for both of us. I would have allowed him to even split the purse. It's not going to happen if he doesn't sign up before December. George is come and gone.
Suppose he comes to you and says, George, it's a great idea, but I'll take 66 and I'll give you 33.
Oh, no. I'm the champion.
You're the champion, so you'll split it, but
yeah,
nothing
I'll
else.
split it because he deserves it, because he's got so much publicity behind him. I did it with Muhammad Ali in 1964.
Right.
I was the heavyweight champ of the world, and they signed me up for $5 million, which was unheard of for the time. Muhammad said, I want the same. I said, you got it, buddy.
Yeah. This was 64, 74.
I'm sorry, 1974.
Right. That was when you lost the Thriller and the Rumble and the Jump.
They are changing.
All right.
You split it with a guy who qualifies. He qualifies because people know him.
Who wants it to happen other than George?
I think the fans itself, they would love to see the fight. Boxing people, they're the one who's going to buy the tickets, not George Foreman. They're going to buy those tickets. They want it to happen. That's why it would be becoming a bonanza. They are number one, the public.
Does boxing need it, you think?
Boxing need that showdown. For the first time, we don't need all these different title holders and different guys saying, I'm the champ, I'm the champ. You put Tyson and Foreman together, people can say, that's the heavyweight champion of the world. Mm-hmm. They deserve it. They've paid enough. They've paid their dues.
You don't need the money.
Oh, really? I've got 9 kids.
Yeah, but how many?
And I got to send them all through college, and they're all thinking they all got these. They make straight A's. A few of these kids. I mean, they're gonna look. It's gonna cost. They don't want to play athletics. They don't want scholarships. They're like a book. Yeah, but 24 hours.
George made more than $20 million in 1994. Yes.
You make a lot of money out there. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to say how much. I got too many cousins. They're just waiting. Oh, really?
Yeah, all right. You talked about coming out of prison and serving as an inspiration. Talk about this book a little bit. The Job Corps did it for you. Without the Job Corps, you would not be sitting here.
My turning point. Lyndon Johnson, as I've told you before, he was the father of the anti-poverty programs of 1964. Turned my life around. He rescued me from the gutter. I got another chance.
Because it was there, you were able to say, I don't want to do what's happening to the rest of my brothers and sisters.
I was in the gutter. I was out mugging people. And one night I decided I didn't want to steal anymore. I didn't want to be a robber, a thief. Jimmy Brown did a commercial, said, if you want that extra chance in life, join the Job Corps. It was there for me. And while an avocation program, in the evening, I was so lonely, I took up boxing. Next thing you know, I'm an Olympic champion, all because a country believed in me.
Yeah. You said at the last fight that you heard them saying, because it was German versus American, you heard USA, USA, USA. What did that do for you?
Boy, if only I'd heard the same chant in Africa, 1974. I'm tired. I can barely hold my arms up, and I'm swinging at Muhammad Ali. Yeah. If someone could have chanted, USA, USA, I could have gotten a spirit. Like, I was tired. I was out of it in Las Vegas the other night. Yeah. And then I heard this chant, USA. It was like, come on, George, win this for us. And I started charging this guy. He started running again. It gave me that strength I needed. I've always wanted to be an American, and you love it when someone say USA. They didn't say George. It's like for us, George.
Why didn't you sit down in between rounds?
Well, I'm so heavy I couldn't have gotten up. True.
Let me talk more about Zaire and the rumble in the jungle. The controversial part of this book is that, what was his name, Dick Sadler?
Dick Sadler, my original trainer and manager.
You say in the book you gave him $25,000 to pay the referee.
Yep. Well, he came to me. You know, I had this bad habit, of course. I'd hit a guy. I was vicious. And if he was on the floor, I'd hit him anyway. Yeah. You couldn't stop me like a wind-up doll. And Sadler told me, he said, George, you know, we're going to have to pay the referee. We're going to have to give him $25,000 and make sure he doesn't disqualify you. And that's what he was trying to protect. And I gave him $25,000 to give to the referee. At that time, I didn't know who the referee would be. I had no idea.
And you don't know what happened to the $25,000, as you say.
I know I didn't get disqualified.
Well, did you do anything that would have justified you from
I think
you got knocked out?
Yeah, I got knocked out. But I can tell you this. If you look at the fight carefully, I was knocked down. Sadler told me to stay down, wait for his count. Yeah. These were our instructions. When he told me to get up, I jumped up, and the referee said it was out. So I think someone outbidded me.
Well, what you said in the book, what you suggest in the book, is that there was a lot of betting shifting to Ali.
Yeah.
You were the heavy favorite months away from the fight. Then all of a sudden it's going to Ali.
And
what do you make of that?
I don't know, but I can tell you this. I would always go days without water so I could get this certain thin look. Yeah. I wanted to look like that look.
Menacing.
Yeah. And Sadler, we would dry out. And just before I'd get into the ring, he would give me my customary drink of water. This time, like always, he'd give me the water. And I took a drink. I said, this water tastes like medicine. Same water as always. And I didn't want to offend him or make him feel bad. I took another drink. I said, there's medicine in this water. He said, same water as always. And let me tell you, today, I was 24 years old, about 25 then. I got tired. I'm 46 years old today. I don't get tired. Somebody got to me.
Somebody put something in the water.
Someone put something in the water. And I'm not sad. The thing that saddens me and makes me frightened is that they weren't pharmacists. They weren't doctors. They could have killed me. I could have been poisoned over there, someone playing with medicine in the water. I'm alive, and I'm happy because I'm alive.
You know what he says.
Huh?
You know what he says. He says it didn't happen.
Of course. Well, it didn't happen to him. I had the water.
Yeah. But he also says, he says you never gave him $25,000.
Well, but point is, my $25,000 left out of my bank account.
Yeah. So you gave it to him?
Yeah, they gave it to him. I really did. And the water, I even told him that it tastes like medicine. Yeah. And I'm a full-time preacher now, and I go around the world. My wife told me, she demanded that I write this book. It may help young athletes coming behind me. She said not to spare anything, tell the truth. And that's what I'm going to do. Some boy somewhere may read this book, and he'll understand too.
He'll understand what?
That just because people call you son, it doesn't mean that you can trust them like a daddy.
You also say that the rope-a-dope, which Muhammad Ali always claimed was his pre-fight strategy, to stay on the ropes and let you punch yourself out, that there was no strategy going into that fight by Ali.
No, he couldn't get away from me. He'd run this way, and I'd corner him. He'd get that way, I'd corner him. I knew how to corner and cut the ring off, so he just couldn't get away from me. Finally, after about 3 or 4 rounds, he realized, hey, there's a miracle happened. I had him in the corner, and one round it was like, I'm not knocked out. I made it. And that was from that point on, he said, I'm going to just keep doing this. But I invented this dope that lets you lie on the rope.
Yeah. You said to me,
I invented him.
What was he saying to you during the fight? Is that all you got, George?
Yeah, and it was like, yep, that's about it.
This is it. I'm too tired tonight.
About the 6th or 7th round, it was like, yep, that's about it.
Yeah. You also say that Ali was not born to box. You were born to box.
I was born to box.
Why do you say that?
I was told by my mother, the doctor, when he got ready to lift me up, he said, I better use 2 hands here. He said, this is going to be the heavyweight champ of the world.
When you were born?
When I was born.
Your mother told you?
Yeah, my mother told me, the doctor did. They call it the art of self-defense. Self-defense from what? Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, and George Foreman. We are what boxing was invented, to protect yourself from. Mm-hmm. We were born to do this. Muhammad Ali, he missed his calling. This man was the best-looking athlete I'd ever seen in my life. He called himself pretty. He was. he should have been. I mean, he was better looking than Marlon Brando.
Yeah, a matinee idol.
Yeah, he should have been a matinee idol. He was this man should have been a great movie star. Why? I don't know. Of course he whipped me. Of course he whipped a lot of people. But his best defense was his best offense was getting out of the way until you beat on him and get tired.
And you say also, or you suggest that he got, as he aged, as he got older, he got slower. And the slower he got, the more punishment he took. And in part, that's the sadness of his life today.
As far as I'm concerned, Muhammad Ali was the bravest man that ever lived. He was not a coward. But his best defense was avoiding punches. He had to take a lot, and as he got older, he just couldn't move anymore. He had to just lay there and let you beat on him. And because he was so brave, he would never give in.
And it took its toll on his physical health.
Yeah, physically, they would just hit him everywhere, and he just couldn't do anything about it. He could never stop a guy and say, I'm going to beat you back, and he would stop. He'd hit a guy, and the guy would hit him back. Finally, the fight would be over after 15 rounds. And the guy would have beaten him like I don't know what. Sure, he would get the decision, but, man, he took some punishment.
What do you think the 10 years you spent away from boxing, from, from 77 to 87? When was it? About 77 to 87.
10 years.
What did it take out of you? What did it take away from you?
You know, it gave me an appreciation more than anything of life. I had a chance to go back and tell my mother and my children I loved them. Gave me a chance to appreciate food, what a dollar really meant. After 5 years, I would go into the store and say, this washing powder costs less.
Yeah.
I'd never shopped for myself. I started to appreciate a pickup truck, things that I'd taken for granted. It made me a better man, which makes a better fighter. You know why you're fighting.
But
physically, I was better. As a matter of fact, some of the wounds that I had gotten as a boxer started to heal.
Yeah. Wounds meaning what? Physical wounds? Or?
Yeah, I was hit in the side, hit in the leg, elbows that couldn't extend. Oh, these things started to heal. Yeah. And it made me reflect on my life, how I could have been a better fighter, thinking that I would never come back.
But when you came back, you didn't have the same rage that you had.
I had to give it all up. After the experience I had, I met Jesus Christ, same one in Puerto Rico.
When you were looking for?
I was just looking for another win, trying to beat Jimmy Young so I can get Muhammad Ali into the ring. And there I was in a dressing room dying. And as they laid me on the table, I saw blood coming down my face, and I wasn't bleeding. On my hand, I started screaming, Jesus Christ is coming alive in me. They rushed me to intensive care because they thought something else was coming alive. And I left Puerto Rico with peace of mind. I knew something nobody else knew. I was ashamed of it for the time being. But finally, I became a preacher, full-time evangelist with the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ. Gave me something I never had before, peace of mind, I like being who I am.
Do you still have that same peace of mind today?
Still have that same peace of mind.
How much has success changed you and the newfound fame, the new sense of being a great hero around the world?
Well, I'm still George. When people come up and say, can I call you George? It's like, what else can you call me? Not Mr. Foreman. The heavyweight, when you get to be heavyweight champ of the world, you can't glow in it, nor can you even worry about the past. You got to let that stuff alone. I'm still a daddy. I'm a grandfather now. And so I'm trying to campaign to make sure my grandchild gets a little closer to me than her other in-laws. You know, the other in-laws. So you can't buy them with money. They need time. So I'm out there campaigning. Call me Dada. Papa, I don't know what to do.
What do you want people to get out of this book? I mean, look at this dog on the back.
Well, basically...
That looks like a pug. Is that a pug?
No, it's an English bulldog.
Oh, all right.
That's Winston.
That's Winston. Named after Winston Churchill?
Winston Churchill. He was called... Winston Churchill was called the English bulldog,
right.
You know.
What do you want him to get out of this story?
The main thing about, you know, no matter what obstacles you face in life, there's no reason to give up on life. No matter what happened, you can be given a second chance, especially in America. I'm heavyweight champ of the world, but I've had to carry some heavy burdens. The best thing that ever happened to me is I got me a good wife who believed in me. And you can, no matter how old you are, you still can do it. Mm-hmm. That's what that book is about, never giving up.
Are you prepared to lose the crown?
Oh, I've gotten to be heavyweight champ of the world, and I've already put that aside now. I got the belts. I've already decided what museums they're going to go into. I'm not
achieving that.
That's it.
After 21 years, winning it again was what you needed.
It's done. It's come and gone, and I'm thinking about other things now.
But you want that one more big payday.
Oh, it would be nice to have a big payday. Believe me. There's a possibility of a rematch with Axel Schultz that could be worth $25 million. Michael Moore. I'm not fighting below that, of course. And Mike Tyson, $50 million. Sure, I'll take that. When you get to be my age, man, you just can't say no to these.
Would you fight Riddick Bowe?
They don't offer me enough money. They're just talking about maybe.
You mean Rock Newman doesn't want to offer enough money?
They don't even want to offer me any money. Can you believe that?
They don't want to fight you, you think?
I don't see, they don't see any benefit in fighting me.
Because they want to hold out for Tyson?
Maybe so. I don't know the reason. But, you know, I'm heavyweight champ of the world, and I'm a prize fighter. It's all about the prize. And, you know, it's still about the bearded lady under the tent. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Come and see him. And I'm still trying to, you know, oh, no, not that. I'm really trying to put on a good show.
Yeah,
contest.
It's a show.
Yeah.
And it's and the winner.
And the winner, you know, but it's about people buying tickets and stepping up and seeing the greatest show on earth. And really, Mike Tyson and George Foreman, #1. #2, Axel Schultz and George Foreman. I'll have those 2 fights. It'll come December, and I'll be gone. You'll never see me in those little shorts again. They never did fit anyway.
Great to have you here, champ. Pleasure. By George is the autobiography of George Foreman, written with Joel Engel. We thank you for joining us this evening. Look forward to seeing you next time. See you then.